Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to get you up to speed here on what's happening with me. I will be having surgery tomorrow on my wrist. I had an injury back in October at work, and after extensive physical therapy, the doctor has determined that I need surgery. And if he said I could forego surgery, but if I did that, I could possibly lose the use of my hand. And the surgery is for carpal tunnel. I have a carpal tunnel is in this area, and it affects the thumb and this finger mostly. And although I don't have pain from it now, the initial injury, I had severe pain in those areas. The pain has went away, but I have had severe damage from the muscle atrophy and the nerve being pinched, I guess you could say. The test that I had showed that I had a possible pre-existing situation going on there, and that is probably from years of overuse of the hand. The other issue that I have that is not being addressed by this surgery is the problem I'm having with the opposite side of my hand. I have numbness and tingling in these two fingers and down to here. Most of the time the pain is in this area and goes down my arm to my elbow. And that's with use, with typing, with lifting, with holding my phone, using my hand. I have no grip strength. I can't open a bottle. I can't open a jar. I drop things all the time. And it's a combination of those two things. Anyway, I'm having surgery tomorrow. I'm going to have surgery under local anesthetic, which means they're going to numb my arm and do it while I'm awake. And the reason behind this is because my primary care physician wanted me to jump through all sorts of hoops in order to release me for the surgery. She said I needed a chest x-ray, an EKG, blood work, and God only knows what else once I got into her office. But the thing about this is that my surgeon's office said I didn't need all those things. I just needed her to sign off that I could have the surgery. And the kicker to that for me is that I had just had these tests done less than 3 months ago. And so I didn't think that it was necessary for me to go in for yet another exam and all these tests, which would delay my surgery in effect. And I've had this issue with this doctor ever since I started seeing her. I started seeing her back in November. And every time I would go, she would want me to do something else and come back in 3 weeks. And this happened three times. And the last visit I saw her was December 23rd. And the only reason I know this is because when I talked to their office, they looked it up and they told me that was the last date that I had seen them. She called me and she told me herself on the phone that it was required that I have all these tests done and see her face to face within 30 days of any scheduled surgery. Although the surgeon's office said that's not the truth. Apparently it's just her thing. It's not any actual requirement by any entity except her or whatever entity she's connected with. I don't know if it's the medical association or a hospital or her boss, who I thought she was an independent practitioner, which apparently she's not. So anyway, that's a long drawn out story, and I thought about telling it here, but I have in effect, since the last conversation with them, have decided that I'm not going back to that doctor, that I'm going to get a new doctor. In essence, the only reason that I went to her to start with is because of my blood pressure. I don't like going to doctors. I never have. And so this whole situation has really given me a bad taste in my mouth about her. She required me to do every time I went, she'd say, well, we need to do this and I'll see you in 3 weeks. We need to do this and I'll see you in 3 weeks. And the last time I went, she wanted me to have more blood work done and come back in 3 weeks. I said, no, I'm not coming back in 3 weeks. It takes longer than 3 weeks for your blood work to change from, taking supplements or changing your diet or whatever it is you're going to do. And I said no. And so I don't know if that made her angry and she's trying to force me to come in yet again, because every time I go in, remember, I have to pay to see this doctor. It's not free. I don't get free health care. So I have to pay. And I have to pay for the blood work. So, there's that. So anyway, that's about the size of what's going on with me. And tomorrow I'll have the surgery. Hopefully it will address the carpal tunnel issue. And then the next step after that is to see what can be done about my elbow and that whole side. I don't know that there is really anything that they can do. I had an MRI and it didn't show any severe damage. It showed some osteoarthritis and some fluid and other things that were possibly caused by the injury. So for me, I really think this is going to be more of a modification of lifestyle and the job, which for my job, I'm required to have a CPR certification. And I have not found any exclusions to that anywhere in my job. Even though I've been doing this for over 20 years, I've never had to do CPR, but I am required to be certified in it. So I don't know if there's any exceptions to that in my field or not. I know that they gave me accommodations for work restrictions, but they never said anything about the CPR. So anyway, that's yet to be seen. I'll be off work for about 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks. And during that time, I'm going to see what my options are with all this. Because with the physical therapy, they told me that this situation probably could not be improved upon any more than it already has without significant modifications to my work and my lifestyle. And that would be almost impossible because, I'm on the computer a lot at work. I'm lifting things, I'm moving things. There's a lot of stuff you do, with your arms. And this is my dominant arm. And with workers' comp, eventually I'll have to come to some sort of settlement, which is what I'm hoping to do. Really what I want to do is I want to be able to get away from this job, because it seems like my arm is getting worse all the time. My arm hurts almost all the time. My little pinky finger is numb. I have tingling all the time in that side, and I can't sleep at night because of all of the issues with it. I sleep like an hour or two at a time, then I wake up, and I don't take any pain medication for it beyond ibuprofen, and I try not to take it every day because that can affect the liver and the kidneys, and then there's all kinds of other problems that you'd have to deal with when that happens. So anyway, the next step for me is to look into the settlement part of this. And ideally, I'd like to get a decent settlement that I can afford to live on for a little while I get the Social Security thing all straightened out. I've applied for Social Security. I have not applied for disability, but now I'm thinking that may be my next step. And we'll see how that turns out. Because if I can't do my job because of my restrictions and the lack of having CPR certification, there isn't really much else that I can really do in my field. And I don't know that people will hire someone that can't use their dominant arm, because it's pretty bad. It has never been this bad up until now. Even after I initially injured my arm and the initial pain all went away, it seemed to I think it was because I wasn't using it, and other people were doing all the stuff for me. But now that I'm doing it all myself, it's bad. Usually Monday nights, I can't sleep at all. I've had 2 days off, Saturday and Sunday. I've had 2 days off to rest. And then I go back to work on Mondays. And Monday nights, I can't sleep because my arm hurts so much. So I don't know what that means. But, it looks like it means I need to not do what I'm doing on Mondays, which is working. So anyway, that's an update on me, and I think that once my surgery is done, I might make a video. I don't know. I'm not really good at making videos. I'm not really good at this because I just, I don't know why. Anyway, that's all. I'll talk to you later about it.